Hi, so a few thoughts about Lucy Letby. It's all been happening today. Carl and Mark and Tasha, they've all put out videos about the latest, which is the Unheard article from the David Rose podcast. So Carl's put a link to this article in his latest video. Basically, Dr Jayaram's been caught out in a lie, as many of us did suspect. So according to emails from David Jayaram, Dr Jayaram, with baby K, now this is the baby where it will be etched in his nightmares forever, and he walked in and found Lucy Letby doing nothing. Apparently she actually had raised the alarm, so this is not what he said in court, this is not what he said to the police. So you know, lie. And Mark has done a great song about that. So yeah, that would be interesting to see what happens. This was actually, these emails were actually put forward to the Thirlwell inquiry, who basically dismissed them, which, what, you know, WTF. So this is all very like the post office all over again. Which, you know, once it was found out the system was faulty, you know, they still tried to maintain, no it wasn't, they tried to cover it up. So this is exactly like that scenario all over again. So yeah, we'll see what happens from here. To me, this whole thing is really weird, because you know, even Jeremy Bamber seems to have an easier time, you know, getting appeals to try and get out of prison. It's almost like, I don't know what's gone on here, but it seems that there is so much that is being suppressed and held back with Lucy Letby, and I don't know if it is a series of unfortunate events where the case was just so big it was actually unwieldy for proper procedure, or the procedure we have now, to even work. And Tasha sort of mentioned, you know, do the laws need to be changed? And obviously something does need to change here, because something has gotten really wrong. I wonder if the law as it stands, that might actually be perfectly adequate and okay, but it may be the procedures and how they are conducted and under what conditions that might need updating, so that this really doesn't happen. So yeah, I'm noticing that all of us seem to be, there seems to be a lot of talent and creativity among us all. Carl is a really good musician, fantastic with the electronics. Yeah, that was me banning my lovely partner. Yeah, Mark Mays is a really good performer, and he writes great pastiche songs. Tasha, she's doing an art exhibition. Solo Man also is a musician. She was having fun with some jazz. So that was really nice to see. And apparently she's also written a book. Mark has written a book too. So yeah, great. And I'm a musician as well, as you might see from some of my videos. So yeah, now Solo Man is really, really worth listening to. She has very well put together videos, and she makes some really interesting points. And a few days ago she did a really, really brave video, because every time someone, you know, tries saying, look, we think Lucy Letby is innocent, the cry goes up that it's being disrespectful to the families of the babies that have died. And she actually did a video about this, and it was done very respectfully, very well, and I think she makes a really, really good point about what could have been happening there. So watch that video. But what I feel that, like, and I feel so sorry for those families. I think every time, you know, the collective cry goes up, like, oh, it's hurting the families. I think these families are being used as a political football. This is really emotional blackmail. This is not on, sorry. The end of the day, Lucy has, you know, even people who we, you know for a fact are as guilty as sin. So think of those terrorists who killed those 2 soldiers. It was really horrible. I think it was a couple of years ago. Now, they were in broad daylight being filmed doing this in London. You know, even they have the right to appeal their sentence to due process. And they are definitely, absolutely guilty, despicable, whatever. They have the right to do that, as Lucy has the right to maintain she is innocent, to appeal her sentence. We have the right to say we think there has been a miscarriage of justice here. So, you know, please don't emotionally blackmail people just for trying to defend themselves. That is not on, and that is, if anything, that is not fair to the families. So yeah, there was that, and also the fact that this is being used is not just that it looks like Lucy has been wrongly convicted, but it looks like now, obviously, with Jayaram, the news about that, it looks like this was deliberate, and it looks like this is I'm afraid this emotional blackmail looks like a ploy to really try and silence people, because there seems to be so much obstruction around whether people can try and defend her, whether she can appeal, and it is a complicated process. Yeah, there is all that, but it's like, it's complicated, it's slow, and then there's all this other stuff on top which looks like deliberate obstruction. So you think, what, this is a bit weird to my way of thinking. So yes, good old Dr Jayaram. So that might explain the famous chin grab I hope he's investigated. And there was something, because he gave an interview about that, about baby Kay, you know, where he claimed obviously that Lucy was standing there doing nothing, and you know, he just accidentally walked in on her standing there doing nothing. There is that bit where he said, oh, I could see the oxygen sats were dropping, and he looks like he's actually remembering, you know, the machine, whatever, you know, the machines they got above the beds, the oxygen monitor, that's it, yeah, the monitor. And it almost looks as if he's touching it, turning a knob. It looks like he's actually remembering doing that action at that time. So what was going on there? You know, he's saying one thing and it looks like another thing actually happened instead. Well, we know, because we've got the emails now. Anyway, so that's all from me for a bit. Hope you have a great Easter. Please like, subscribe, and hope to see you in the next video.